Landforms made by rivers, by glaciers, by winds, by sea waves, and by underground water. Landforms made by rivers. Landforms made by rivers are also called fluvial landforms. They are the most important agents of erosion on the Earth's surface. The main mechanisms employed by the rivers are erosion, that is physical process of removal of particles; corrosion, that is chemical reaction of water on rock; and attrition, that is due to friction there is a reduction in the size of particles being carried by the river. The important land feature of river action is V-shaped valley. The valley is formed because of differential rate of erosion at the upper, central part and base level. It is because of the rate of flow is maximum in the upper and central parts. When the valley is U-shaped, it is called gorge. Gorge is a valley which is narrow and steep-sided. It is formed in an area of hard rocks. Continued action of river erosion for long geological years result in gorge formation. It also could be on account of the process of slow uplifting of the land where the river is flowing. Most of the rivers of northern India, with source from Himalayan region, have such gorges. Gorges are suitable for construction of dams and hydroelectric projects. Bhakra Dam on the gorge of Satluj is a good example. Canyon is another variant of gorge. It is also steep-sided river valley but runs on a long stretched areas. It is formed when river cuts the landform quickly and reaches the hard bottom without much horizontal expansion. This is because of nature and structure of rocks which are easy to erode. Good example is Grand Canyon of River Colorado in US. Waterfalls and rapids are formed when the slope of the landform suddenly changes from gentle to steep angle. When the river is flowing on plains and its speed is low, especially when it is about to reach the sea, alluvial landforms are formed. The material which is fine grain carried by the river all along is deposited in this area. Here, river is meandering and it also forms oxbow lakes. Much of the Indo-Gangetic plains consisted of large areas of alluvial deposits are of these kinds. They are also called as floodplains and deltas. Landforms made by glaciers. The landforms made by erosion of moving masses of ice are called U-shaped valleys, cirques, hanging valleys, cols, saddles, passes and fords. Glaciers also create landforms by their deposits which are known as outwash plains, cames, echers, drumlins and moraines. Glacial erosion takes place because of process of plucking, that is breaking and uprooting of rocks due to friction with the surface against each other. The rate of erosion is low because glaciers move very slowly. U-shaped valleys are created on account of uniform rate of erosion at upper and lower level. Sometimes glaciers create armchair-shaped depressions which are called as cirques. When glaciers recede, they form cirque lakes. The pass and saddles are formed when glaciers over a period of time cut across the opposite sides of mountain range, forming a passage between two mountain ranges. This gap is called pass, and a broad pass is called as saddle. Hanging valley is a typical feature of glaciers. Hanging valley is formed when the tributary glacier is not able to reach the same level of the main glacier. As a result of valley created by the tributary glacier appears as if it is hanging on the side of the main valley created by the main glacier. Fjords. Fjords are the glacial landforms which are formed below the sea levels, on the sea bottom. It is because glaciers do not melt even at sea levels and continue to erode at the bottom. They appear as narrow part of the sea inland with tall steep walls on the sides. All the above landforms are typical features of northern Europe and also Northern America and Russia. Landforms made by winds. The typical features of landforms made by wind are desert pavements, paddy plain, sand dunes, etc. The main process of wind erosion is on account of deflation, that is removal of loose sand particles, abrasion, that is friction of rock particles, and attrition, that is reduction in size. Desert pavement is created when a rock is polished and made smooth due to continuous abrasion over a period of time. Paddy plains are formed when winds create smooth plains without any features by eroding raised parts and filling up lower areas. The most common feature made by winds are dunes, which are basically depositional features. They are made up of fine particles and are of different shapes and sizes and alignments. In Rajasthan, we can get to see the land dunes. Landforms made by sea waves. A number of emotional and depositional features are created through the action of waves in the coastal areas. Wave erosion takes place at high tide and low tide levels. The important coastal landforms are cliffs, which are basically steep faces rocks created due to erosion of tall land mass along the coast. The base of the cliff is cut inside, whereas the land mass at the higher levels is projecting towards open sea. The lower portions of such coasts are also marked with caves created by water erosion. The other most common landforms are beaches of different kinds. Lagoons are part of the sea extended into the lands which are cut off during low tide. They form a sort of lake cut off from the main sea. Lagoons are known for clear and calm water and may also host colorful corals. Lake Chilka in Orissa, Lake Pulicat in Tamil Nadu are well-known lagoons of India. Landforms made by underground water. The underground water, by its erosive action on soluble rocks such as limestone and dolomite, create landforms, namely underground caverns or caves, karst lakes, sinkholes, dolines, etc. There are also beautiful depositional features of underground waters such as stalactite, stalagmites, cave pillars, etc. A stalactite is a conical pillar-like formation growing downwards from the roof of a cave. They are formed when water is seeping down from the roof and meanwhile water drops get evaporated, leaving the deposition limestones hanging from roof. Stalagmites, on the other hand, are conical shaped features rising from the bottom of the floor towards the roof. They are made up of limestone deposits left after evaporation of water drops. Yugoslavia in Europe is known for these features.